have an idea, a topic in my mind, and before we start, I wanted to ask a question. Why do you think theft is bad?
Because we're going to be missing them.
What?
We will miss them. That's why it's bad.
Missed what?
People. Is the question, why do I think theft is bad?
Why? Theft. Stealing.
Oh, stealing?
Yeah.
Someone else will answer.
I think we're taking something that it don't belong to us.
But why is it bad?
I just think because it's like it comes with the what's it called? What's the word? Selfishness. Like you're selfish because like you want to take something that don't belong to you. Or
Okay.
yeah.
Any other ideas?
I don't think that because it's 10 commandments.
10 Commandments. That's a good point. Yeah. Any other ideas?
Without permission.
Well,
Maybe don't own the
okay,
person.
I'll give you permission to take some.
Oh,
Please
thanks.
have. Theft is bad and evil because it diminishes, if not to destroy, the value of the item. Because when artists, we have so many artists here, so you're right. Yes, okay. In which sector?
Photography of graphic design.
Graphic design. Okay,
Yeah.
you created a piece of art and somebody just stole it, made a T-shirt or whatever. So, it's not that you thought that earned some like books or something, but it's appreciation that the whole efforts that went to it. You just put it on the toilet, and they didn't say that who made it. So appreciation. I mean, in our daily world, we learn, and I mean this is fact, but very, very commonly, we want to be appreciated in things that we do. But in larger scale, with the fall of man, happened exactly the same thing. When Satan kidnapped people, humans, from God, he diminished their value. And instead, in our society, you can see, instead of being a human who has certain values that are designed by God, we are just part of economical, some kind of tech resources that are utilized in order to create a profit. But this is not entirely our value. We totally, with the fall of man, were lost understanding what is true value of human being. And talking about theft can be very, very versatile. Steal some of the art, some of these physical items. Even if a gentleman looks at a woman in not an appropriate way, it's a theft. Because whatever beautiful woman has, it belongs to her future husband and children. And having a desire is theft. Is theft. So think. Of course, it's other way around as well, but I emphasize the important or most common things. The value of human beings, as I said, we lost the understanding of human value, and we try to raise our value by things. We think that if I work hard or I work for somebody else, he will appreciate me and he will like me and he will recognize my value. But people say there's no irreplaceable people. So if somebody works hard, there will be somebody who will work hard. And this is not ultimate value, because if a person dies, nobody mentions as well, he worked so many hours, or his legs were so long and his strength was so big. People are always trying to memorize something important. What this person brought in somebody's life? What kind of changes he brought in somebody's life? Who was he as a person, or she? So this individual internal values are really unexplored in our current society. And that's why we come with very awkward and ridiculous statements that people can come up with to shock and to earn or steal this value, or to label themselves something that makes sense to a very small group of people. But in order to see things objectively, we have to look from God's viewpoint. And the idea, what I wanted to say, came from what I was reading Divine Principle. Divine Principle, for those who are new to our group, is a book that's given as a revelation to the organizer of our community, our movement. And it came as a revelation, and basically Jesus appeared to this person, some unknown, and he asked him to continue doing his mission. And that's where the book took the beginning. And this book has an entire chapter dedicated to value. And I want to ask Sister Wilbur, to read from it, because I couldn't take anything out of it because I found it so valuable. So basically, from very first until very so. Oh, yes. Yeah.
Let us discuss the value. Let us discuss the value of the man who has attained the purpose of creation. That is the value of Adam in perfection. First, let us discuss the relationship between God and perfected man from the standpoint of dual characteristics. According to the principle of creation, man was created with mind and body, taking after God's dual characteristics. There are mutual relationships between God and perfected man, which may be compared to the relationships between man's mind and body. Just as the body was created as the substantial object to the invisible man which it resembles, man was created as the substantial object to the invisible God, taking after his image. Since we cannot separate one from the other, when the mind and body of a perfected man become one, centered on God, we can never sever the relationship formed when God and perfected man become one body through the four-position foundation. Because in this state, man would live in perfect union with God's heart and feeling. In this way, a man who attains the purpose of creation would become the temple of God's constant afterlife, thus assuming deity. As Jesus said, man must become perfect as our Heavenly Father. Therefore, the man who has attained the purpose of creation would assume the divine value of God. Second, let us consider the value of man. Centering on the purpose of creating man, God's purpose in creating man was to enjoy happiness through him. Each individual has special characteristics, which others do not have, however vast the number of people on earth may be. We can find no two identical in their individuality. Therefore, there is only one individual in the whole creation who can return stimulating joy to God as his substantial object through a reciprocal base with the particular dual essentialities contained within God, which are subjective to that individual. The man who has attained the purpose of creation, whoever he may be, is an existence unique in the whole universe. Buddha's statement, I am my own Lord throughout heaven and earth, is reasonable in light of this principle. Third, let us study man's value from the standpoint of the relationship between man and the rest of creation. By understanding the relationship between man and the rest of creation, according to the principle of creation, we can better understand the value of perfected man. Man was created, the invisible world, with his spirit, and to rule the visible world with his physical body. Therefore, the man who has attained the purpose of creation becomes the ruler of all creation. First, man is to rule both the visible and invisible worlds, with his physical body and his spirit. First, these two worlds form a substantial object to God by performing the action of give and take with man as medium. According to the principle of creation, we know that the world of creation is the substantial development of man's dual essentialities. Accordingly, man's spirit is a substantial encapsulation of the entire invisible world, while his physical body is a substantial encapsulation of the entire visible world. Therefore, a man having fulfilled the purpose of creation is a substantial encapsulation of the entire cosmos. This is the reason man is called a microcosm. Man has the value corresponding to that of the whole macrocosm, as it said, for what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world and forfeits his life?
Thank you. What's an hour? What's a story? And which initially I thought like, I will just take a piece of it, and I thought like this paragraph, no, the two paragraphs, no, like I can't just, I had to read it entirely. And, I mean, it may be difficult to comprehend, but the value of human beings. I mean, we struggle for recognition of our value, because this is the most important question we ask ourselves when we mature. Because it's not about what kind of job I'm going to do, what kind of professional yet, but who am I? Who am I? There's a famous film, I think it's called Anger Management, where the same question was asked for the main character. And he said, no, my name is this is, I'm not asking your name, who are you? Well, I'm working for this company. No, I'm not asking who you're working with, who are you? The person gets very angry, like, I don't know what should I answer. What's the right answer? But it is very interesting because we should ask and have a clear answer for that question ourselves. Who are we? Because we believe that, well, if we have better condition, if I had more money, I would be more generous, I would be a better person. But is it true? Because everything depends on our heart and how much we resemble God in our nature. And that depends what kind of decision we make. How do we govern our environment? How do we govern, let's say, money? We believe that money solves everything. Money doesn't solve everything, because if we don't know what to do with money, money will use us instead of we use the money. So, and this is a very crucial question. And to understand, to go through, because some concept may be not known for everybody, because you're the first time in our community. The idea of the relationship between dual characteristics. We believe that we have body and we have spirit, and those elements have to have reciprocal relationship, where our mind is dominating our physical body. So we have so many desires that body generates, but we have to have a spirit that strong enough to dominate all those desires and guide them right. Because we have desire to eat, but if you can't control it, we can burst because we eat so much. Those other desires have the same things, the same consequences. And we have to learn how to respectfully dominate those desires. Because God didn't say, well, starve yourself to death because this is your weakness, you have to dominate it. No, He wanted you to enjoy it. He gave you a full mouth of taste buds in order to enjoy the taste, yeah? All those thin things, you know, when you go to, let's say, some nice restaurant. Or fruit, just walking past somebody's garden, you want because they taste nice. So, and this is important things to realize, that internal determines the external. Same like the whole creation of this world, determined by invisible God. His nature, His heart, His initiative, His motivation designed this world the way it is. The whole physical elements in it, including us, who also resemble God, because we have a spiritual aspect. And we only object in this universe, entire universe, who share this unique point where the spiritual world and physical world comes together. We are designed to be governors of this world. And as this mentioned in the reading, that we were designed to dominate the spiritual world and the physical world. But the fall of man happened that the spiritual world was submitting themselves, not in the position of even slaves, even lower, to serve archangels and other spirits. But this is wrong, because we were not mentioned, we were not meant to be in that position ever. We were born and created as the masters of the spiritual world. And before we can do it, we have to master our own spirits, our own physical body. And then we can become a true owners of this universe, of this entire cosmos. So there's lots of things that we can deviate from here. Like I mentioned that learning how to dominate ourselves as an individual. Then the next step, dominate or create a harmonious relationship in your family, because we have two kinds of individuals. We have individuals that male and individuals that's female, and they're both supposed to reach a perfection, a perfect relationship with God. And then those perfected individuals are supposed to create a family. So if the God's masculine aspect, driven to perfection, meets the feminine God's aspect that's also driven to perfection, and those elements are united, this is a divinity that is created in the physical body through us. And Divine Principle also shares about what's the source of joy. What's the source of joy for God? What's the source of joy for artists?
Depends on the artist. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What can you say as artist? Like the person who doesn't know what is right answer. So, what can you say? Or what do you feel about that?
I don't know. I have many answers in my head. I'll say create something or reference, like
Okay.
self-reference.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Forget that. Another artist who's experienced artist. What would you say? What's the source of joy?
Actually create, well, same answer, actually when you're creating, and then you've got a final product, and then it's all appreciated.
Creating. It doesn't work.
Yeah, that's sometimes annoying, but like when it's finished, when there's a finished product,
Yeah.
and then people, like, for example, when you're on the shoot, and then someone's wearing this, oh my god, that's so nice.
I wish I could see that.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very true, because I mean, however simple it may sound, but the truth is very simple. When a creator sees the reflection of his internal character, a substantial something, he feels joy. So when God sees, when a perfect man, a perfect woman creates a strong, perfect family with a very harmonious relationship, he feels joy. And that's the purpose of creation. That's the purpose of life. Bring joy to God, because if we bring joy to God, God will, what's the English expression? Bend over or falls over? Anyway, backwards or whatever. Anyway, He walks 10,000 miles to make us more happy and give us all this stuff, because we're meant to be dominant. We're meant to dominate this physical world with love and create this more beautiful place for our children and for the rest of the creation, animals, everybody. So we are the owners, the true owners, but we have to learn how to walk through this world. And partially, we can help young people to learn how to focus more on those kind of important things, lessons. Because it is important. It is most important if you can realize your own value. Because what's happening if you can't determine your own value?
You might try and chase things in order to help you feel that you are valuable, but it might be misdirected.
Yeah, you substitute with something, or somebody comes in and says, that's your value, creates your label, which is not necessarily what you are. And it's very important if we think that God designed us, every one of you, me included, be something that represents entire cosmos, entire universe. And we have a responsibility. This is our responsibility. Our responsibility is not to become the best footballer. Our responsibility is not to become the best, I don't know, something. Our first responsibility is to perfect the potential that God has given us. And however different churches interpret it, it is our real first responsibility to understand the design and the potential that God gave us as individuals. And if we fulfill that, we will have absolute, true peace in our heart. And this gives a foundation to deliver the same kind of peace to everything we do, everything we create around ourselves, including family, culture, and not just culture as something related to like fun music and stuff like this. Culture, like how do we design our home? How do we design our relationship in the community? How do we design the social programs? How do we take care of our younger people? How do we educate our children? We create the culture of God that comes through us if we learn how to understand and share God's heart with ourselves. So that's basically short introduction to dual principle. So, but I would suggest come into circles, and let's discuss the matter and ask questions. Ask questions. If you don't ask questions, I'll make you ask questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you.